What's up guys, Lindsey Rago here. I am 22 years old and I am living in Los Angeles, California. Once you get to know me, you'll know that I always have a cup of coffee in my hand. When I go into my story, it really comes down to two major discoveries that I've made in my life so far. The first being how I took control of my body, and the second being how ultimately that led to me taking control of my life. To give a little bit of background, I was never happy with my body. For as long as I could remember, I would cringe at photos. I was never comfortable in a bathing suit, and that led to a lot of toxic behavior. It led to eating disorders, it led to overtraining, it led to just not good, and it lasted from middle school, high school, all the way up to my second year of college. So that second year of college was when something completely changed, and that shift in my life happened right after I went to my first bodybuilding competition. So I went to that show and I was like, I want to look like those girls. I will look like those girls. A couple days after that show, I walked into the gym and I took these photos. I was about 40 or so pounds heavier than I sit now, and I just looked at myself in the mirror and I nodded and I said, you will never look like this again. For the next 2 years, I really immersed myself in learning about training, learning about nutrition, trying to figure out how I could have this body that I wanted. And that's when resources like bodybuilding.com were right there at the forefront of my life. I always used it as a reliable source, from workouts on YouTube to articles about nutrition, for recipes, diet plans, what have you. Over the process, I really just fell in love with the bodybuilding style of training, because I love training hard, I love training heavy, I love training for aesthetics or for strength. When I walk into the gym, I just feel like I have this unshakable sense of confidence and nobody can touch me. After 2 years, I actually did end up losing 40 pounds to compete in my first bodybuilding competition. That was never the original plan, but it happened, and I'm so grateful for that because I fell in love with the sport. And that's actually brought me to where I am today in my competing career. And I'm nationally qualified as a bikini competitor in the NPC, and I'm competing for the first time at Nationals in November. So very excited. So how did that lead to controlling my life? I grew up in a very regimented household, and not to blame my parents, love them, but I always was expected to get straight A's, to get a great job in engineering, and just do all of these admirable things. And so I did end up studying for my civil engineering degree, and towards the end of that degree was when I made this whole transformation, and I started to really question if this was what made me happy. And I really thought about it, and I decided that I did not want to be an engineer. And after I had made my big transformation and had competed, what I did was I started coaching and training people who were just like me, who felt stuck, who felt like they didn't have control of their body and had tried everything. And I launched that coaching training business in January, and it just skyrocketed. Once I graduated, I ended up deciding to completely rock the boat and not continue with that career path. I literally picked up myself from the current path I was on and dropped myself in a field and blazed a new path for myself. And I took myself from New Hampshire to Los Angeles, California. I train at the Mecca. I continue my coaching business. That's what I support myself on. And most importantly, I actually have an impact. And with the help of bodybuilding.com, I'm going to be able to extend that impact to so many people. And I have this message that once you take control of your body, it leads to so many beautiful things, and it leads you to this confidence that makes you feel like you can control your life and really your happiness, because that's what it comes down to. And I know that bodybuilding.com is the perfect platform for me to spread that message and that impact. And I will be the best spokesmodel for 2018 because I have a purpose, I have a message, and I have the deep desire to connect with people and help them create their own story like I have. And so I really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to my story, and not just to listen, but to hear me and to hear my passion. And I really look forward to hearing from you guys. So have a great day. Cheers.